Right.
Wow, that sounds a lot better.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, that's
you now as well.
Yeah, that sounds a lot better.
There's cheap old free PlayStation ones you get with a console, eh?
Oh, is that what you were using?
My other headset is not charged. So, yeah.
I'm using the cheapos right now too, actually.
Yeah, they're good, mate. It does the job. Which you'd expect it should. It comes with a console, you know. So.
Well, the Xbox didn't come with one, and when I used the PlayStation one on the Xbox, I'm like, it's like really quiet. And so I bought one specifically, like a Turtle Beach, like $15, $20 one. And it's just shit. It's just shitty.
Yeah. Yeah, Finley's got a Turtle Beach, and they're just not that good. Not really, I don't think.
It's like, how is my fucking free... How's my free one better than this? Like, how is that possible?
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, how are you, man?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Just been fucking working and doing a lot of nothing, actually, because I haven't really been gaming. I almost feel like, how the fuck did I game so much? I guess I did a lot of it at work, but I feel like I did even when I wasn't working. Or even when I wasn't...
Yeah, it's Destiny, isn't it? It's Destiny, mate. That's the difference, really. I mean,
yeah.
most of the games, as good as they ever are going to be, they'll only ever hold your attention for a few hours at a time. Destiny, you can sink, like, 15 hours into that game if you have a whole day for it.
Yeah, I synced a year,
just
actually.
Get up all day till you go to bed. Do you know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I was doing the math on it. I played that game for a year.
Yeah.
Like a solid year, almost.
So yeah, I mean, you know, kind of. I didn't realise you haven't been really gaming either. I haven't really been playing that much. And when I have been playing stuff, when I have had the time, it's just been on the Switch, really. But generally, I've been watching loads of films.
Me too.
Just not TV, kind of binging Friends.
You're binging Friends, the series?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good show. The writing's really good, dude.
Yeah, it's just genius, man. Those first sort of few seasons are genius.
Yeah, once they hit their stride, it just really, they were really, yep. Yeah, season 2, season 3, they're just on fucking fire. I watched Die Hard, man.
Did you? Oh, you'd never seen that before then?
Never seen it, man. I finally saw it. First time. First time.
Welcome to the party, pal.
No shit, right? That's me. Welcoming me to the party.
Welcome to the party, pal. Now you have Die Hard. And, you know, it's awesome.
Are the other ones as good, man? Or should I not even bother and just leave the first one?
Yeah, they are. I think they are. The second one is... Most people don't like it that much. I really like the second one. There's nothing too intelligent about it. It's just a typical sequel where they just upped the budget, and instead of blowing one building up, they start blowing planes up.
Okay.
They actually wanted to blow up an entire airport to make that movie. So that's really, I still really like it, mate. It's still really good. I definitely recommend it. The third one is one of those very rare things where you've got a scenario where you've got the third part of a trilogy that's possibly better than the first two.
What? Really?
Yeah. The third one's got Samuel L. Jackson in it, and it sort of flips the script in quite a clever way, whilst also kind of referencing the earlier events of the first and second movies. But it's really good, mate. Yeah, so you have to watch the first three. After that, don't even bother.
So just watch the first three, and that's it.
Watch the first three, though. It's totally good, mate. Yeah, I rate them highly.
Ah.
As a three-piece movie, you know, as a trilogy. You can't really call it that anymore because they've gone on to make more. But those three, brilliant.
Well, it kind of blew me away because look, I went into the first Die Hard with zero nostalgia. You know what I mean? There's no nostalgia. There's none of that. And yet I was still able to just go, wow, this movie's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Not just good, but incredible.
Just as if it had just come out, right?
Right.
Just as if it had just come out, right?
Exactly.
Because I watched it about last week, and there's nothing in it that's really dated. You know, there's no sort of super special effects or where it's set and when it's set and all those sorts of things don't age and haven't dated really at all.
Exactly.
And the rest of it is just pure top quality anyway, and total intensity. And Bruce Willis is just awesome in that, and so is Alan Rickman as Hans Gruber.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Yeah, it's just top notch, mate. You struggle to find a better movie than that. End of the day.
I agree with that.
That's why I was so like. Now you get like why I was so like, man, how have you not watched Die Hard? You need to watch Die Hard. Plus, it's a Christmas movie. You can just about get away with saying that.
Yeah, it's definitely a Christmas movie. I was having kind of a debate about that with people, and I'm like, how is that not a Christmas movie? It ends with a Christmas song. Like, how could it not be a Christmas movie at that point?
Yeah, absolutely. Plus, there's a Christmas movie at the start as well when he gets picked up, and his driver puts on some kind of rap. I don't know what it is, but
Argyle.
Like, hey, yeah, Argyle. Yeah, he's like, haven't you got any Christmas movies? He's like, man, this is Christmas music, and like you listen to the lyrics in there, he is talking something about Christmas and summer. I'm not sure what tune it is though, but yeah, it's beastly. So good. It's not over the top either. I mean, I know it is over the top, but other than the big couple of big stunts, the rest of it's sort of like fairly normal. You sort of could see someone doing that.
Yeah, except for the fire hose,
like
man.
Great. Yeah, except for the fire hose, of course. But that's just that one thing that makes it that Hollywood, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? That's that little Hollywood cherry on top. But the rest of it, in terms of all the action, in terms of him taking out the rest of the crew and surviving.
Yeah, that was all pretty realistic.
Fairly realistic, ordinary, you know.
All right, I had to change my mic.
Oh yeah, I can tell it's totally different.
Yes, it just sounds different.
Radio Rick. Radio Rick Vera.
Yep. It's just a superior mic. That's all it is.
Yes, indeed. Oh, so I'm glad. I'm very glad you've seen that, mate.
Yeah, man. I feel like I have to. I have to make like a hit list of movies, and I did Aliens, which I absolutely needed to do. Everyone says not to watch 3 though. Like it's not really essential.
It's good. Don't listen to him, Rick. Don't listen to him.
Oh, you think it's good? Okay.
Yeah, because it takes it back more to the original roots of it, and same thing about it. You got Alien, then you got Aliens, which is like the 80s sequel where they up the body count, they up the guns, they up the aliens, right? Standard Hollywood sequel stuff, and make 80s at the same time. And then the third one, they kind of go back because she lands on a prison planet where there are no weapons. Right, so it kind of makes it more of an intense kind of thriller, more than the second one is like an action.
Yeah, the second one was just a straight up. I can't think of his name at the moment, but what is his name? James Cameron. It's just a straight up James Cameron action film.
Yes.
Which I guess people really liked, but I loved the vibe and the moodiness of the first movie. Yeah,
exactly. You can't. The atmosphere of that film is second to none. That is why, mate, you need to trust me when I tell you watch film. That's my DVD collection that I finally resurrected from storage.
Okay. I'll watch it then.
It's been in storage for like 10 years or something, all my DVDs, so I never had anywhere to put them. We bought this bookshelf.
I'm pretty sure Nino has it, and so he sort of shares his voodoo password. Good. So.
Okay. I get why a lot of people say they don't like it, or they don't say it's not as good, and it probably isn't as good as the first 2, but it's still pretty damn good, I think.
Did you like the new one?
If you're kind of open-minded, then yeah, I like Prometheus and I like Covenant.
Covenant, that's what it was. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one looks good.
Because they're like part of a pair, aren't they? They're part of 2, those 2, the Covenant and then Alien. I mean, Prometheus.
Yeah.
They directly relate. 4th one's fairly garbage, though. Other than that, they're usually pretty good. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Huh.
What am I actually doing?
How was your Christmas, man? Good?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Yeah, not too bad. Pretty good, can't complain. It's not too bad. What about you?
Yeah, it was mostly incident free, although I can't really say it was completely incident free. There were some incidences, but yeah, it wasn't terribly bad. I did get rear-ended the day after Christmas by someone who was high on butane.
On butane, that's the thing, is it?
Yeah, well, apparently I didn't know it until so I had a rider with me and we're shooting the breeze and we're at a red light and we feel the bump. Someone hits us. And my rider kind of freaks out and he's like, "What was that?" And I'm like, "Oh, I think we just got rear-ended." Cause it's pretty unmistakable, right? You've been rear-ended, I'm sure.
Yeah. Once, yeah.
So I get out of the car and I'm like, I notice the guy's like laughing kind of, but like smiling, but he has sort of a blank expression. And I'm like, "Hey man, you just hit me, like you just hit me. It's not funny." Like, I was kind of annoyed. And then he seemed like he was sort of having a fit. And I thought, oh fuck, maybe he's having like a seizure, like a medical thing. And so as I approached the car, I realized he has a can of butane in his hand on his lap.
Oh, you mean like lighter gas?
Yeah, lighter fluid, man.
I never understood that.
Well, I was talking to a guy yesterday, and I guess he's like training to be a cop or whatever. And he was telling me that when you hit the butane, your body goes numb and you feel nothing. And so you're like kind of semi-conscious, but you're just feeling nothing. Like you just go numb. You go completely numb. And you go kind of limp.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
No, I've heard of it. There's a sort of a thing when we were kids. There's all sorts of anti-drugs campaigns, and a lot of them seem to center around like doing butane gas, because you get like a gas canister that you use to fill up a lighter, like a clipper or something, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And then like if you cover it with like a towel or a cloth, and then push the nib in, it's like a tiny nib, and then suck on that is, you get from that. But that frees your lungs, man. You can die so easily from it because it freezes your lungs.
Well, dude was fucked. Like he was like smiling, but he was not happy, if that makes sense. Yeah. And I ended up calling 911, and they came and they first handcuffed him, but they realized he was too like fucked up to arrest. So the ambulance came, the paramedics took him away.
Okay, Jesus.
Yeah, I was like, okay. I was in a bit of shock, and so I didn't get any of his information. I got his insurance information, but I didn't get any of his information. So the claim is pending until I get a police report.
Well, you'll get one though, won't you, right? Cause
yeah.
That's all legit. That's a ball ache for you, but in terms of it being any kind of doubt about it, then you're pretty much good on that, aren't you, really?
Right.
Wow, I'm not equipped for this game, Rick.
What are you doing? Blackout or Team Deathmatch?
I just went straight in Team Deathmatch. I thought,
oh, God.
Philly wanted me to get it. A few of his mates are playing it, so he's like, "Oh, can we get it?" And I'm like, well...
Yeah, that game's brutal, man.
Like £20. And he wanted to spend his vouchers on Fortnite skins, and I'm like, dude, I'm not going to let you spend your PlayStation voucher that you got for Christmas on Fortnite skins.
Dude, everyone does that though, man. My cousin, his son, I guess he got like $150 gift card or something. Was it $100 or $150? And he told my cousin, like, this is the kid telling him, "Oh yeah, can you take me to GameStop? I'm gonna buy a game." And then he's like, "Okay." So he takes him to GameStop and he buys one of those PlayStation credit cards, with the $100 credit or whatever, $150 credit. And he's like, well, why are you? I thought you were gonna buy a game. And he goes, no, well, you know, I'm gonna buy it online. And so he's like, okay. And so I guess he goes, so what game did you buy? And it come to find out that he spent all that money on skins.
Oh.
Yeah, my cousin was pissed.
It's sloppy letting him have the credit and not password in the account.
Well, no. Well, he had like a GameStop gift card or whatever. He transferred that into a PlayStation gift card.
Yeah, I get that. I get that part. Yeah, I get that part.
And so then he spent all that money on skins. So it's not like he used his.
Put a password on the store account. So
oh, really?
You have to enter a password and purchase something. Yeah, even whether it's credit or not. Yeah.
Ah, see, he should have done that then, because. But dude, I've heard that a lot, dude. Lots of people, lots of stories I've heard already from friends and stuff with their kids. The kids are just. The worst one I heard is a kid dropping $300 on skins on the parents' credit card.
Yeah, I mean that's bad. But then if you got your credit card associated with your PlayStation account that your kid plays with, and you haven't put a password on purchases, then
it's kind of your fault.
Yeah, well, it kind of is. It's not directly your fault, obviously, but everybody knows now that's just too easy. Money doesn't really exist anymore. Money is like a push of an X. That's it. Push X.
Yeah, push X. It's sort of a concept, right? It's more of a concept, exactly. And I guess it always was because it was just paper, but
now they've just completely removed, physicalized it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just too easy for them to spend that, really. But yeah, so and Finney got bought like a £20 PlayStation Store voucher with a code. You put the code in, you get 20 quid credit, and he's like, "I'm gonna buy skins." I'm like, dude, don't do it. Buy a game. There's loads of stuff on the store on sale, and then he come along and he's like, "Oh, can we get COD?" I'm like, ugh.
So does that mean I should get it?
Okay.
We'll play
possibly, mate. Yeah, possibly. I mean, the blackout mode could be really good, and I mean that's 35 quid on my store. So
PUBG is also $29 on PlayStation now.
Oh God, I can't even shoot anyone. Is it? Yeah, I'd rather buy this, mate. To be honest.
Yeah.
Because this does what PUBG does, and it does it really well, allegedly. I've seen nothing but good reviews and good comments about this game, and especially that mode. Slick, and it works, and it's really good. I don't know what it's called now, Blackout, I think.
Dragon Quest is also $35. And guess what else is $30?
Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
I looked earlier, that was 45 on my store. £45 for Forsaken and the annual pass. Which is the cheapest I've seen it, but there's still way too much money.
That's what I said. That's what Chris said too. He said, just wait till it's 20, man. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, if it's that, I'll buy it for that, man.
I'll buy it for 20.
By the time that happens, that'll feel like a brand new game.
Yeah. Yeah, but, okay, that sounds like a deal.
COD in a long time. I haven't played COD in a long time. So
I haven't either. I haven't owned one in, God, ages. I'm pretty sure I could get Danny to play it too. Like, hey, Danny, I bought Black Ops 4. You want to play? I'm sure he'll play it.
Yeah, I've never really played a COD game. Not a Black Ops one. I've never really played a Black Ops one.
Oh, really?
Well, I have Modern Warfare 1 and 2.
You never played Black Ops, the first Black Ops? It was good. Yeah, that was a good game.
But, to be honest, right now, I just like to play something that doesn't involve some fucker building an invisible castle in front of me every time I try and shoot him. So
yeah, that is the bad part. I really wish if Fortnite would just make a mode with no building. Like how freaking that would just be perfection. Because the shooting on it's, God, that's a lot of DVDs.
Oh my God, I can't aim straight. Come on, John, get your eye in. This is just embarrassing.
Oh, you got the Friends box set, dude.
Hey? I've got seasons 1 to 6 on DVD.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and I never watched the last season, the last 1.5 seasons. I never watched. So I've been watching it all through on Netflix. I'm on like season 9 now. But yeah, it's good. It's good. It's sort of been real. I mean, it was like really, really good right up to probably a season ago, and then it's sort of some of the characters start to become, for what the same reason you used to find them funny, sort of start to find them annoying.
Right. Well, I sort of feel like there's
really
this thing that happens, and I was talking about this with my wife because we've been watching the Mindy Project. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it's actually written quite well. It's the same. I mean, it's the same writers from The Office, so it's quality. But there's this thing that sort of happens around season 3 and 4, sometimes season 5 of a show, where the characters their sort of traits become more extreme.
Yeah.
So like for example, in Friends, Joey likes to eat, right? And so like by season 6, he's eating like entire cows and shit. You know what I mean? Like, or like, Chandler is very.
That episode is kind of funny when he gets the maternity trousers and eats the whole turkey.
Yeah, it's funny, but you get what I'm saying. That's just an example.
Like probably the only character who still remains funny throughout the whole thing.
Who, Joey?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. But you get what I'm saying, right? About how they sort of become caricatures.
Oh, yeah.
They get very extreme, like and then it becomes annoying because it's not realistic anymore. Now they're just sort of cartoon characters,
Yeah, that's exactly that's exactly right. I know exactly what you're talking about, and that's exactly what happens with Friends.
And that happens with a lot of shows.
Just become annoying, and characters like Phoebe, just because of their ditziness, just actually becomes borderline. You're just being out of order now.
Yeah, exactly. They're not real people anymore. Now they're just caricatures.
Yeah.
And so that's happening now. Like I think we're on season 4 of the Mindy Project, and it's starting to happen now where we're like, whoa, they're not real people anymore. They're just fucking, characters, and they've been turned up to 11,
Yeah.
So like whatever their defining characteristic is, it just gets turned up real, real high, and it just stops being funny.
I think with Joey, they sort of tend to, whether it's intentional or not, they actually make him a bit more normal.
Yeah, they kind of do. They added depth to, or I don't know if it was him or.
He gets that regular job on the show when he goes back, and he's sort of got a regular gig on that, and then falls in love with Rachel, and it's just like it sort of becomes a bit more normal, a bit more normalized.
I didn't like when he fell in love with Rachel though. That whole arc.
I didn't at all. No.
It just was like
it started to go a bit there.
When he proposes to her and everything.
Yeah.
It's just. I mean, I know they did. It was executed pretty well, but I mean, I just didn't like it. It didn't sit well with me, I guess.
No.
So.
Plus, they tried to add some sort of drama in there, and it's like, well, I don't really watch Friends for drama.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't know. I guess I sort of, with Friends, they literally sort of like become your friends, and you're sort of hanging out with them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And it's just like anything else. When they run out of things to write about, they have to add characters, make the characters more obnoxious or more extreme, or you add some kind of drama to it, which sort of changes the tone. And, it is what it is, man. I think most series, like 4 or 5 seasons is pretty much a sweet spot for most series. And then you sort of run the well dry by that point. That's just my opinion.
No, that's right.
I've been watching a bit of Star Trek lately, and I started Deep Space Nine, so we'll see how that goes. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but
I've still never really managed to get into any of those.
Really? None of them? Not even the films? Oh, that's right. I made you watch...
I've got the films, mate. I own all the films.
Okay. Yeah, well, I started... What happened is after Die Hard, I kind of got into a sort of an 80s kick. And I was watching all the 80s movies that I had. I watched, Breakfast Club, 16 Candles, God, let me go through my list. I was just going down the list and picking every 80s movie that I had and just watching it. And then I looked at Wrath of Khan and I'm like, well, that's came out in 1982. It's an 80s movie. Oh God, it's so good. And the thing is, the high of Wrath of Khan sort of carries you through the whole series because it's just so good. And also 3 and 4, I think are quite good. Like I really, really like. 3 is underrated in my opinion.
Yeah, I love the Search for Spock.
Yeah, Search for Spock. Yeah, I like it. It's got its flaws. It's not as good as Wrath of Khan, of course, but
of course not.
But it's good, and 4 is really good when they go to San Francisco. That's great.
I'm not so sure about that one.
What?
To say they're in Wales or whatever. I can't really remember that much.
Oh, you need to watch it again, man. Okay, do me a favor, Raze.
I probably do.
Do 2, 3, and 4. Because it's considered a trilogy. 2, 3, and 4. It's one arc. Okay. 2, 3, and 4. Just watch those 3. Okay. Yeah,
it's 2 kind of. 2 is the start, isn't it? Really, because the third one follows on directly from the after effects of 2.
Right.
With Spock, obviously. So.
Right. So yeah, watch 2, 3, and 4, man. 4 is great. Like it really is great. So yeah, that sort of sent me on a sort of Star Trek binge.
Isn't it?
What?
5 is Generations, isn't it?
No, 5 is to be forgotten and ignored and never watched under any circumstance.
Which one is 5?
The Final Frontier. It's the one where they try to find God.
Oh my God, yeah.
That was just bad.
There you go, mate. Did you see my picture? That's the collection.
Yeah, that's a lot of movies, man.
Yeah, if you go, you can't quite see it. There's a strange elf thing in the way, but there is a box set of Star Trek in there.
Oh, is that the elf? Is that what the elf is blocking? I was trying to figure out what was back there.
Yeah, I've got.
I see Star Wars. Are these alphabetical? How did you sort this?
No, I've genre.
Genre, you bastard. That's the way to do it, man. Yeah, I see the two. I see the two band of brothers there next to each other. I still haven't seen the Pacific.
There you go, mate. I'll send you. There you go. It's a proper close-up so you can actually see what they are.
All right, let's see. What do we have here? All right, yeah, Friends. Oh, this is like your TV series on the bottom. Oh, yeah, good. Yeah, you got the proper Simpsons in there for season 3 and 4.
Yeah.
And 6. Oh, you're missing 5, huh?
I think. Yeah, no, I've got it. I have got it somewhere. I think I was just in a cardboard case, and the cardboard case kind of got a bit damaged.
Yeah, see that they did the 1 year where they did that head, the Homer Simpson head, and there was such a big backlash that they actually allowed you to send your proof of purchase in, and they would send you a cardboard box set that matched the others, and I did it.
Right, yeah. Yeah, because that was totally different to the rest of them, and it really doesn't sit with the with the set at all. Not the best photos in the world, but
let's see.
well, of course, this is the.
So that's your TV series.
Yeah.
Spaced. Yeah, it's a good show.
Did you watch that in the end?
I was, yeah. I watched a couple episodes. Dude, I'll like watch 1 or 2 episodes of like I have like 10 or 15 series. And then if it grabs me, I'll binge, and if it doesn't, then I'll go back to that. I'll go back to it. But I have like 20 or 30 shows that I need to go back to. That upper row is like your action.
Yeah, that isn't fully finished, the whole sorting of the DVDs, but because I just sort of got them and whacked them in, but that's what I was going for. Because then I got all my Blu-rays on the top shelf, and I'm like, well, that's stupid because they're in a different case.
That's annoying, huh?
Yeah, I need to put them in between.
Jesus, your Lord of the Rings collection, dude. Fuck.
Oh yes, mate. That is the beast. It's probably at that point where I realised I was spending too much money on DVDs.
Yeah, and then Blu-rays right around the corner, and then, hey, are the 4K Blu-rays, are they worth it? I'm sure you own a few.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I've got.
But is it really worth it?
Yeah, for HDR and stuff, mate, it is.
Yeah. Damn it! I was afraid you were gonna say that.
I would say it's not worth it. Say maybe if you had
Fletch. Wow, you got
Blu-ray.
Fletch. Ah, Dirty Dancing, dude. You got your 80s. Oh, this is your 80s row, isn't it?
Yeah, generally, yeah, that's going to be generally 80s and stuff.
Was watching Animal House yesterday with the missus. Oh, it's such a good.
Oh, yeah.
You ever see that one?
Yeah, definitely seen that. Yeah.
That movie's got a lot of charm. It's a charming movie. I'm sure a lot of people didn't think so when it came out, but in retrospect.
Well, they are, aren't they? Is that John Hughes?
I'm sure. Yeah, it was National Lampoon, so I'm sure he was involved. Don't know how much he was involved. He didn't direct it. I know that. Wow, look at the Vacation collection.
Yes, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that too. Had to watch that during Christmas, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Star Wars. What is that? The Last Jedi? I can't tell. Next to Rogue One, I can't tell what it is. Oh, The Revenant.
That'll be The Last Jedi. I have in 4K, and I have Solo in 4K.
What do you think of Solo? Did you end up liking that?
I like it. Yeah, I like it. It's not like it wasn't anything. It didn't blow me away, but at the same time, it wasn't bad in any way. It was done, fairly solidly all round, and story's kind of a familiar sort of story, isn't it? And they kind of managed to, cut in a couple of sort of big legendary films from the story, like the Kessel Run and that sort of stuff.
Right. Which of course they had to.
Which of course they had to do. I loved Danny Glover as Lando.
Oh, Donald Glover? Yeah, he was great as Lando, wasn't he?
He's great. He is everything.
Yeah. Have you heard his music, man? Some of his music's pretty good.
No, I haven't ever heard his music because I first encountered him on a sitcom called Community.
Community, yeah.
He's so cool. Yeah, he's so cool in that. And then I'd heard he's sort of given up the acting to do a music thing, Childish Gambino, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I never listened to it, but I've heard he's done really well with that. And then now he's come back and he's sort of in quite big films now, so fair play.
I need to watch the Lethal Weapon series. There's another one that I've never watched.
I watched that.
I've never watched it. Never watched it.
Just before Christmas. The first one.
Never seen any of them.
Oh my god, mate.
I know.
Same. It's like.
Remember I told you I need to make a list? I need to make a list.
It's probably the only other film I could recommend that was as good as
Die Hard.
In the same style as and the same type of movie as Die Hard.
Yeah, dude, I was gonna say that, man, because I was like, I've never seen Lethal Weapon, and also to that end, I've never seen the original Mad Max.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, see, I saw Road Warrior though. I love Road Warrior. I've seen it.
The second one, Road Warrior. I think Mad Max 1. You could probably get away with missing that, actually. Because
that's what my brother-in-law said, because I was into Road Warrior, and he's like, this is a sequel to Mad Max. And I was like, really? Should I watch Mad Max? And he's like, nah.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's essential. It's one of those films where, like Evil Dead Part 1 and 2, Evil Dead 2 is
or like Star Trek 1.
Of the first one.
Do you know but better. I mean? Yeah, but better.
Evil Dead 2 includes like the story from the first one. They rewrite it a little bit and then make it better and give it a proper ending and all the rest of it. And that's kind of what they did with Mad Max 2.
Road Warrior, yeah.
Yeah, kind of. So yeah,
but Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, I mean,
definitely Lethal Weapon.
Man. Definitely Lethal Weapon, man. Definitely.
All right. Let's see what else you got here. Platoon. I need to see that one too. I've heard it's really good.
Oh, what?
I know. See? That's what I mean. I have a list, man, of movies I need to watch.
Good, that should be on it. Good, yes. That's it. It's more like I'm jealous because you get to watch that
for the first time.
Yeah, the same with Die Hard. And you know, I was watching it the other day, and I think as good as this is, and that is still good. And I was like, I'd love for this to be the first time I'm seeing this.
Oh, Die Hard was so good, man. It was so good.
It's so good, isn't it?
I couldn't believe, because in my head, because, you know, I've tried to go back, like, I didn't watch Weird Science till I was an adult, right?
Yeah.
And so I tried to watch it, and I was like, you know what I mean? The magic of, you know, like being an adult, like, is just not, you can't be an adult and watch that film. Because you're just like thinking about, oh man, the house is getting damaged. And you're just thinking all these things you shouldn't be thinking. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that's going to cost millions of dollars or thousands of dollars to repair. You know, shit that shouldn't be going through your head when this stuff is happening goes through your head as an adult. So I thought with Die Hard that there would be some lingering, you know, or just, you know, no nostalgia. But, you know, the minute, I don't know, dude. That movie's just fucking perfect.
No nostalgia.
I'm going to watch it again.
Nostalgia whatsoever.
Although there was some nostalgia in seeing Bruce Willis kick ass. And also when fucking Carl Winslow shows up. I couldn't believe. I was like, really? Carl Winslow's in this?
The FBI agent?
No, he's the cop. He's the black cop.
Oh, right, okay. What else is he from? Because I only know him from that.
Oh, dude, you never watched Steve Urkel, Family Matters?
No, I never heard of that, man.
Oh, God, it was like this huge show in the States. Steve Urkel, you know, the nerdy skinny little black kid. Did I do that? You know, you never seen that?
No, I don't think so.
Well, consider yourself lucky, because the show, it had its moments, but it went on way too long, and the joke wasn't funny anymore. That type of thing, you know? You could only... Did I do that? You could only do that so many times. In fact, The Simpsons sort of made fun of it with the I didn't do it. I didn't do it. You know, that was a reference to that.
Yeah, there's a lot of those. There's a lot of references like that in things like The Simpsons that I don't get because I don't know the show or the
right. You're not getting the spoof, but it's still funny even if you don't get it.
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
But yeah, Carl Winslow is his name on Family Matters. His name is Reginald something. Reginald, God, I feel like I have to do him justice by looking him up. But he's in Ghostbusters as well. Remember Ghostbusters? You've been bailed out. Also plays a cop. And he also plays a cop in Family Matters. So it's like, he's always a cop. It's amazing. Reginald, what is it, Sinclair? Reginald.
That's right.
Let me see. Yeah, no, that's not his name. What's his name? Let me see. I'm just going to put Carl Winslow. Carl Winslow. Reginald Vell Johnson. That's his name. So yeah, he played he was in Ghostbusters, Die Hard, and Family Matters. So yeah, it's kind of a 80s trifecta there.
Yeah.
Even though his role in Ghostbusters was pretty small. You know, one scene, but still, you know. So I was super stoked when I watched that movie. So yeah, Lethal Weapon, definitely on the list. Platoon, based on your reaction, I'm guessing Platoon. I should probably watch that. I did finally watch, because I'm looking at your like genres here. I did finally see Apocalypse Now as an adult, and that's another one that. That one blew me the fuck away. Even as an adult, like I just, that movie stayed in my head for like a month. Yeah, like I thought about it for a month. It just stayed in my brain.
Yeah, I need to watch that again soon. I might even watch that over the holidays while I've got the extra bit of time. Because that one I've got there is like the Redux, and it's like 4 hours long or something.
Yeah, I didn't watch that one. People were saying not to. They're like, don't watch the Redux. Ooh, Top Gun. I need to watch Top Gun again. It's been too long. And you know they're making Top Gun 2, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
They've delayed it, haven't they, I think?
Did they delay it? Son of a bitch.
I'm sure I saw something about it was going to take longer than they said. Because they had the first few photos emerged of him on a motorbike.
Yeah, well, it's being filmed here in San Diego.
Oh, wicked.
Yeah, and so my father-in-law's on the base, and so he saw him on the motorcycle, and he painted the jets for the movie.
Cool, man.
Yeah, it was sort of heartbreaking for me to find out that he has that they had the stencil, you know?
Yeah.
That says Captain Pete Mitchell, Maverick,
Right.
and he threw it away.
Oh, what?
Well, he was just doing his job. He wasn't really thinking about, you know what I mean? I'm like, did you keep it? He's like, huh? That would have been cool to have, right?
Big time.
There you go. Check your.
You used it. You used it, and you would have.
You could. I sent you a message on WhatsApp. It's still going through, but wow, that's really taking a long time to go through. Oops, I just hit a car. What's up, guys? Okay, it went through now. You see it? You're like, no, I'm getting shot at right now. I don't have time for this shit.
Yeah, so it's not like I'm alive for very long in this game. Being dead is all part of the program, really. My phone has just really started playing up.
Yeah, I have to sort of reset mine every couple of days. I've sort of found out that that's like an Android thing. You just have to reset your phone every couple of days. Just power cycle it.
I don't usually have to. It's definitely playing up today. I'm going to reset it now, though.
I'm still sticking it out though with Android. So.
Yeah, it's fine, mate. It does what you need it to, really. Just a phone at the end of the day.
Matrix, I need to watch that again. I never saw the sequels, but people are like,
well, I think you know, a lot of people. There's a lot of haters out there. I quite enjoyed the sequel because the sequel does what all good sequels do, which is take the coolest thing about the first movie and double down on everything. And they definitely do that. Wow, there's some crazy action scenes in that movie.
Okay.
So it's worth seeing for that,
It's worth a watch.
Yeah, because that basically starts from the point of view where Neo is now. He is the one. He knows he's the one, and he's got his shit down, and he's like taking down like 100 agents at once, kind of shit. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So and the action kind of just escalates really throughout the movie. The storyline goes in a bit of a strange place. It's worth watching though, definitely. But then of course, if you watch the second one, then you'll probably end up having to watch the third one because they made them.
Right.
They made so much money with the first one. They went right. Well, we need to make 2 more. So
and it's not as good, right? The third one's not good.
No, the third one's not great. No. I think the thing is they find themselves with this kind of totally mind-blowing concept of the Matrix and all the rest of it, and then they find themselves tasked with having to try and explain and resolve the whole scenario and everything else. And
right.
I suppose they're probably never really going to be able to pull that off. Totally, but it's still worth doing, mate. The first one makes you a fan of the films. The second one ups the ante, and I like it. If you are a fan, you will like it.
I am a fan, yeah.
You have to watch the third one anyway because you watched the first 2, so you'll end up having to watch the third one anyway.
Yeah, and I got to watch John Wick 2 as well. Looking at your movies here, the first one was great.
Yeah. Second one's exactly the same, to be honest.
Yeah, more. Yeah, that's what I've heard. Just more.
When I bought that box set.
Unabashedly, like just action flick.
Yeah, it's exactly the same. I
No
made
shame.
a mistake. I bought that a couple of months ago, and I thought Alex was out. I thought I'll watch John Wick. I'd already seen John Wick. I thought, you know what? I'm gonna watch John Wick 2 straight away afterwards.
Yeah, there you go.
It's just too much. It's too much of the same film.
Yeah, you got to kind of watch them separate.
You do.
Okay, well, I haven't seen 2 or 1 in a while, so I think I'll probably jump into 2. I got a lot of movies to watch, man. Jesus.
Yeah, I recommend all those. They're all top movies, really. I watched Gladiator the other week.
Oh, that's a good. Yeah, see, there's a great one. See, but those are movies I have to watch by myself. Like my missus won't watch Gladiator with me. Yeah, she's just like, nah.
Alex actually requested to watch that one.
Does she like Russell Crowe? That's probably what it is.
Possibly.
Some eye candy there.
I don't know if she would ever say. But that film, right, is probably one of the biggest travesties in film Oscar history.
What? What do you mean?
The film won Best Oscar for Best Film. Okay.
Did it?
And yeah. Look it up, man. I won best Oscar, and every film that wins best Oscar wins best director, right? Makes sense, doesn't it? Because if you're going to say this is the best film,
They've sort of separated. They've sort of separated the two.
Sort of have a little bit more now.
It's not even best director now. It's achievement in directing. You know, it's got to be.
Oh, really?
They don't want to offend anybody. Hashtag offended. Hashtag outrage culture.
Yeah. Hashtag everyone's included.
Exactly.
And Russell Crowe got best actor, right?
Right.
Yeah. Is it Ridley Scott or is it?
It is Ridley Scott. It's Ridley Scott, isn't it? Oliver Stone and Ridley Scott to me are I always confuse the two.
Yeah, me too. And so he did not win best director, even though his film won best film.
Oh, that's dirty.
Yeah, and Joaquin Phoenix, who plays the bad guy, can't remember his name.
I don't remember his name either, but I know who you're talking about. Obviously, he's the main villain.
Evil as fucking that. He's like evil as fucking that, and he easily outacts. Even though he's not really in any scenes with Crowe, he does at least 100% more acting in that film than Russell Crowe ever does.
Yeah, he does.
He did not win Best Supporting Actor. He did not win Best Supporting Actor.
Yeah, that's a travesty.
And the director didn't get the direction thing. It's just like, and I read, that was the first time since 1949 that a film won the best film and didn't win the best director.
Wow.
So he must have seriously pissed some people off. That's all I can conclude.
But I sort of feel that they do that now. Like now, it maybe back then it was the exception, but now it kind of feels like it's the rule where they give the best picture.
I sort of get that.
Achievement in directing goes to someone else. They're considered two different.
Yeah, it does make sense because if not, why bother having two awards if they're basically just going to be awarded for the same thing?
Yeah, it's like when they add junior middleweight, or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, everyone gets one,
Oh, mate. Speaking of which, I watched quite a lot of good fights lately, man.
Oh, fucking Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder. Did you watch that?
Fury Wilder was awesome fight, wasn't it?
That was incredible.
Man. That was like Rocky. That was like a Rocky fight.
It was. And he even loses at the end, which kind of makes it was a draw, right?
It was a draw that felt like a loss, but
it was a draw because he won. He won the fight.
He won the fight, but
he lost a few rounds. But
if you get knocked down, you can't really expect to claim a victory on points.
Yeah, but that bothers me. That bothers me because why even have it as a 10-point must system, right? Because you're doing it by rounds. So he lost those 2 rounds, clearly. The 2 where he was knocked down.
Out for more or some shit. He was telling me. A slightly different pointing system with it. I don't know.
And that's the thing that bothers me about boxing is that sort of those unwritten rules, that you have to beat the champion, or if you get knocked down twice but you win all the other rounds, you still don't win the fight.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It did feel a little bit harsh. I think I can kind of see why it ended up a draw if you look at all the circumstances and the whole context of all of the fight and where it was and who he's fighting, all these sorts of factors. But I think your average sort of fan would say he should have won that fight. But either way, it was an amazingly entertaining fight, right? It was just crazy. Really, really good.
Yeah, it was.
So that was an awesome fight. And then...
Did you watch the Canelo fight? Oh, that poor boy from Liverpool, man.
When was that?
It was, like less than a month ago, like 2 weeks ago. I actually bet Chris £5, which he's never paid me, and I never brought it up again because it wasn't even a fight.
Oh, right, yeah.
Canelo went up in weight.
I see some headlines about some fights before Christmas. I didn't pay that much attention to him, but And then some of the UFC stuff, my mate always, whenever I see him, every couple of weeks, he always shows me a whole bunch of fights.
Oh, did you watch the one last night?
No, I haven't seen last night, John Jones. I haven't seen.
No, not that one. The girls, Cyborg versus Nunez.
Yeah. Cyborg, yeah. No, I haven't seen that.
Oh, you need to see that, dude. When you go to your friend's house, be like, hey, man, I want to see the Cyborg fight.
Yeah.
It's.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, you know what? Fuck that. I could send you the whole fight is in a Twitter video.
He pays for the UFC pass, I think, so he gets everything. And he has these apps on his Amazon Fire Stick, which he also pays a couple of quid for, that basically lets him get everything as well. So.
Oh, there you go.
You know, I can't ever watch him at 4 a.m. on a Saturday morning, but I do watch him the following Friday. But yeah, Jesus, there was a fight. Oh my God, I can't. Holloway.
Oh, yeah, dude,
You know
that
what I mean?
versus
Holloway
Ortega.
versus
Brian Ortega?
Yeah. Oh my God.
I hosted that one.
Oh my goodness me. He was.
Were you screaming at the screen, dude? We were going, ah!
Yeah, he was just getting destroyed by that right hand, and he just kept going, and Holloway was just like dodge, smack, and he must have caved half his face in. Ridiculous. It kept going.
I was squirming, dude. I was squirming and wincing. That was hard to fucking watch.
Yeah, it was.
Cringe-inducing.
Earlier on that fight card, there was a fight earlier on.
The first one,
and
Manua versus where he came back, knocked him out.
God. Is that the one when he like elbows him in the face?
Yep.
And cuts him right open, and then he submits him with a chokehold, and you actually see like all this blood spurt out
squirting out. Yeah. No, that wasn't Manua. That was another one.
Pressure on. Yeah, it might have been another one. He puts the pressure on, and you just see it all come out.
Yeah, he split his hairline, right?
And his whole face is basically just covered in
crimson mask.
That just looks like a fucking B-movie horror movie, you know. And I was saying at the time, like, this is like B-movie horror, this shit. And then Joe Rogan, who does the commentating, he said the same. He's like, well, this is like a horror movie. That was unreal.
But yeah, that Ortega Holloway fight was one of the great. I mean, what heart? But you know what I mean? His heart was bigger than his his health. I thought he was gonna die in the fucking ring, dude. I'm like, he's gonna fucking die. He's just gonna have an aneurysm and die.
Those shots from him on the right, though. You know, Holloway's that right. I'm not sure if that was a hook or what it was. That weren't. Was that?
It was a jab, dude.
Straight. It was like a straight.
It was. Yeah, it was a
jab.
straight. Sometimes it was this jab. Sometimes it was a straight.
On that left. And then just the right was just going unguarded every time, and he was hitting with it like every time he was landing that thing, and that was just incredible. Yeah,
that was worth the price of admission just for that fight. Yeah. There were some good fights on that card. I think there was only one or two boring fights. The rest were just fucking incredible.
I mean, the stuff is borderline. I was saying to my mate, it's like this is like Gladiator. This is how we still sacrifice the bloodlust. They've just sort of taken Gladiator, and they've taken the weapons away, and they said, sorry, you can't have the weapons anymore because we might actually kill each other too easily, and we aren't allowed to do that anymore. So try and kill each other, but just not allowed to use weapons. It's crazy.
I'm trying to find the Cyborg fight for you, but having a hard time. Oh, you know what? I'll click on that. Because it's about a 30-second fight.
Oh, really? Yeah. She get knocked out, don't she? I think.
Somebody does, yeah. I'm not going to say who, but somebody gets knocked the fuck out.
I don't really watch the ladies' ones. I mean, you know, you talk about cringing and wincing through it. I can't really watch women beat the shit out of each other.
Well, this one's it's short enough that I think you might enjoy it. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough.
Because, yeah, I know what you mean when they're getting, like, just dumped. Like, if the Brian Ortega Holloway, if that was two girls, I wouldn't be able to watch that.
No, exactly.
Even that was hard to watch with the two guys. I was still going, dude, fucking throw in the towel. Corner, where are you at? Throw the towel in. You're going to let your boy get killed in there.
In the
like
end,
that.
they stopped it, didn't they?
The doctor stopped it. Yeah, his face was fucking destroyed. Like completely destroyed, man. He looked like a completely different person.
Like a shattered jaw,
Broken orbital. Yeah.
The whole lot just gone. You could see it was just like his whole left side of his face was just one giant black eye, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was just one. It was so puffed on that one side of his face that he had no definition to his face. It was just a flat piece of flesh.
Yeah, it's like pounded meat.
Yeah,
that was just incredible.
Yeah, it just looked like a slab of meat on the side of his face, and there was a slit somewhere for an eye. You know, like God, it was fucking terrible.
Yeah.
I can't find the fight, but I will find it for you.